Welcome to Sister Sessions, where two sisters on very different paths explore what it means to live spiritually in a modern world. My older sister is a spiritual leader with decades of experience guiding others toward inner peace. Me, I'm a mom of three, producing burlesque shows and embracing life's pleasures while searching for deeper meaning. Together, we share honest, relatable conversations about finding balance, purpose, and connection in everyday life. So settle in. You're right where you need to be. Welcome to Sister Sessions. Hi, Jenny. Welcome to Sister Sessions.
Hi, Susie. How are you today?
Great.
Good.
And here we are, the last day of 2024.
Yes, it's very exciting. I love this day.
I know, and we've got to talk about this day. What it means to you. Obviously, do you have New Year's resolution? Let's just dive right in.
No, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I think the word resolution and the whole connotation around New Year's resolution has been very much overwrought, and we know that it doesn't really work. And people have tried and tried and tried. And then by February 1st, it's all out the window, or even before that. We put these high expectations on ourselves to change ourselves in some profound way and do something that we've always wanted to do but have never done. And then, it's like a diet. You go through it and then you end up failing because the expectations aren't realistic. So I always feel like we really need to be realistic and choose something. And what I do personally is I set an intention, which is different than a resolution, but an intention of something I might want to experience or receive or work on. And that is what I do for the new year. And I usually just pick one word, make it really basic, really simple. One word that I want to experience or have in my life.
Do you want to share what your word is this year, or are you still?
No, I have it. I have it. I've had it for actually at least a week now. It is the word receive. I personally am working on this block that I have in receiving because I'm such a giver by nature and I want to share and give. And I forget about myself in a lot of ways. And I have in the past, I have really depleted myself where I would end up being sick because I'd give and not think about taking care of myself in certain ways. This was a long time ago, and I realized that is not healthy and that I need to receive as well as give, that they're both needed and beautiful. And the one thing that really helps me to remember this is that I know what it feels like to give. I know how much joy it feels in my body and my whole psyche of that joy of giving. Why would I prohibit someone else that feeling by giving to me in whatever they want to, right?
Oh, it's so true. Even in terms of being complimented, even with receiving compliment in words, I know when I was young, I had a dance teacher and she was standing with me when someone had walked over and paid me a compliment. And my reaction was, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, gosh, completely like that. And thankfully, she pulled me aside and she said, I want to teach you something. When someone pays you a compliment, it's the same as them giving you a gift. And you say thank you when you receive a gift, correct? And I was like, yeah. And she said, it's the same thing. Someone is doing that because you made them feel something and they want to let you know as a gift. You know what I mean? So you thank them. And it changed everything for me. Now, if someone says anything kind to me, I say thank you. I see how they feel. I can see it in their face. And also how it made me feel too, just to see that I returned that kindness back to them. Absolutely. So I love that receive. That's really good.
Yeah. And you know what was even more profound? And my husband and I, Dave, had a conversation last night around it. He said it, and I had been thinking about it for a few days. And I was so happy that he said it to me because it came from him, which is really beautiful. I brought up the receive, and he also wants that same intention for 2025. And I said, my intention is receive for 2025. Are you feeling that? And he's like, I want that too. Yes. And he said, if we can't receive basic things from other people in any way, how can we receive God? Because receiving, it's all about opening your heart to receiving the divine that's within you. And the more we receive him, if that's actually a Bible quote, the more you receive him, and I can't recall the exact quote, but do it, right? And I knew that, and I've been thinking about that for days. Well, I want to receive the divine within me when I'm meditating. I want to receive more. And if I'm blocked by receiving even simple things like a gift from someone or a compliment or anything that is given to me, how can I receive the greatest thing in the world, which we're all craving inherently, which is the bliss of the source of divine, is God. That word is a really loaded word, and a lot of people struggle with that word God, and I get it, because religion really messed with that word in a way that is very traumatizing to most of us. So a lot of people don't want to use that word, and there are so many words you can replace that with. The universe, source, divine spirit, which is my favorite personally, all kinds of things, right? So whatever word you want to put in there, you want to receive that divine light.
Yeah. Have you ever set a New Year's resolution and kept it?
Yes, I have. And I remember one that was so long ago, which you probably remember. We were young, and we were at the Sapinski's house for New Year's Eve, and you said it, and I said, yes, let's do it.
Oh my goodness, what was this? Ringing a bell.
Junk food. Let's stop eating.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they did that. Yes. Yes.
We did it. I mean, I did it for years. I didn't eat
Yeah.
any sweets or junk food
Yeah.
for a long, 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 long time, until I was probably in my mid 30s,
Yeah.
early 30s. I was like, I can have sweets. I'm okay.
Wow, that's right. I forgot about that totally. Yeah, I don't recall that. I mean, I do. You rang the bell completely, but I forgot about that. But, as an adult, I don't remember. I never set a New Year's resolution. My reasoning is because I believe that you make changes when you're ready, not because the calendar tells you. And you try to do that and it fails because you're the pressure of New Year's Eve. Look, I have set resolutions, we'll call them, since we're talking about that. And they've always happened during the year sometime, just randomly, when I'm like, oh, I'm ready to do this. Like, I became a pescatarian for a year and a half because I wanted to know how my body reacted to that. It was like in October one year, just random day. I don't wait for like Monday or the first. I just, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it now, you know? So yeah, I've not set a resolution. What I love about New Year's Eve and the start of a new year is that's exactly what we just said. I love a fresh start. I do that on my birthday too, like hit the reset button. It's kind of exciting. Like it's a forced close in a chapter, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is next? What is going to happen in this year? And it's funny because also not getting overwhelmed by it. I've done this to myself where I'm like, okay, you end out the year and you did all these things, and then I'm like, oh goodness, I've done this before, and I had to stop myself. We're starting all over again. All the birthdays, all the holidays, all the this, all of that. And it's like, oh my gosh, we have to do this all over again. This is going to be, and you got to stop and say, present, be present. But I have in the past done that on New Year's Eve, where I think more of an overwhelmed state than now I'm like, push the reset button. Here we go. Let's do this. And it's so exciting because you don't know what tomorrow's going to, I mean, that's always, but I should say what the year is going to bring. It's exciting to look at that in a whole new book, 2025.
Yes, and this time is so beautiful. In this, right now it's New Year's Eve. We have, I don't know what time it is, but we have some hours before the turn of the year. And this is such a beautiful time to dive into yourself, to really reflect on what happened last year and this current year that's still here for a few more hours, and really look at what you've accomplished within yourself.
Mhm.
I personally don't look at the external as much as the internal. What did I learn? What did I realize this year about myself?
Right.
And that is so powerful. And maybe you didn't learn much about yourself, or maybe you didn't realize much. And maybe you want to say, I want to realize more about myself. I want to know myself more on a deeper level. How do I do that?
Mhm.
And that's an example, you know, what you could do from my perspective from the spiritual lens. It's the introspection that's crucial for of being on a spiritual path, where you look at yourself and from an objective perspective, not judging yourself in any way, but actually just looking at, how did I do?
Mhm.
How how what did I do well? What could I do better? What would I do differently next time?
Mhm.
Completely objective. And then you know, I've talked about these 3 L's, which I find so important. You look at it, you learn from it, and then you let it go. So then you do a ritual of burning, like a cleansing. Okay, I wrote down all these things that I've experienced, that I've learned, that I want to change, that I want to improve upon. And you burn it in the fire and you let it alchemical be alchemized, to let it release it in the ether. Say, okay,
Mhm.
I'm done with that. It's
Yeah.
over. And then you go into very, very consciously what it is you want for the following year. And you write all that down. And maybe it's one word, maybe it's a statement, maybe you want to just get a whole bunch of things out. And then you burn that as well. And you offer that up to the universe and say, okay, I'm letting it go. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to
Mhm.
trust it's going to unfold as it's supposed to. And it's so powerful and important. And it might seem silly, but I'll tell you, it's really not. I've done
No.
for years.
Yeah. You taught me to do that. We did it, I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before we did it. But yeah, I'm gonna do it tonight. Absolutely. Yeah. We have a family New Year's Eve this evening with the 5 of us, it looks like. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. We'll see.
That's in, that's incredible.
Yeah, we're gonna have a dance party.
Yes, I many people I know are having a dance party. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
blow up balloons and write from 6 p.m. to midnight, 6 p.m. balloon, 7, 8, and on. And every hour we're gonna pop the balloon and
Where'd you
keep.
get that idea? I love it.
I Googled how to have fun with your kids at home on New Year's Eve.
I figured there was something there.
Yeah, and I loved it. I went right to the store and got balloons. I was like, that's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super fun.
We're going to have a very quiet, meditative evening. Want to, ideally, I don't think I'll be able to stay up, but I would love to be meditating at the crossover of the year.
Oh, yeah.
You know, from like, say we started at 11 and went to like 12 or 30, an hour and a half. That would be ideal if I can stay awake. If I'm feeling like I won't be able to, we'll meditate earlier.
Right.
Yeah. But doing the other part of what we're also going to do tonight is we're going to actually finally get our crayons and markers and all the things out and draw our healing sanctuary, because we've been talking about it. And you know, all of you guys listening, you know, we Dave and I moved to Northern California just 3 months ago on this property to with the intention of creating a healing sanctuary. So we have been thinking about what we want and where we want things to be, create where we want things to be on the property. And so we're going to draw it out, because that's how you start to manifest. I mean, we've
Yeah.
done this before. It works. I've led people through this. It works. It is in divine timing, not in our ego's timing. So you put that out there because we've been thinking about it. So it's been in the ether, right? It's been in the thought realm. And now we have to pull it down into the energy realm and actually start to write the blueprint for it then to take the next level of manifestation. So it's a process, and we are ready for that blueprint. And I'm very excited about getting that down on paper so we can really visually see it.
That's so awesome. Wow.
It's a powerful time. And I really feel that 2025 is going to be a year like no other.
That's what you keep saying.
I follow astrologers, I follow different psychic mediums, I follow a lot of different spiritual leaders, and everyone is talking about this. A lot of astrologers are saying they've been waiting for this year for a long time, and that this might be the year where we look back and say 2025 is when everything changed.
I love change, so this is very exciting. That's yeah, go ahead.
It just, you know, on every level, there will be a lot of change and a lot of truths coming to light that have been hidden with all in all kinds of ways. So I don't, I'm not going to go into deep details of it because we don't really know, right? We never know. There's all these theories and feelings,
Of course.
but the excitement is that there is going to be something different. And I love that. Oh, I want to tell you what happened last night. This was wild. And I just think it's so fun to share this. We were outside and, obviously it's getting dark so early and we live in the mountains. So there's no light pollution. It is dark, pitch dark and quiet. We're outside playing with our dog and we're looking at the stars that are it was such a clear night, just magical. And within about 20 seconds of us looking up, we see a shooting star. Then we see another shooting star, another shooting star. And we counted within a 10-minute period, 11 shooting stars. And we could watch them moving and moving and moving. We're like, there's another one. It was amazing. And then we see a drone, which we think was a drone. And we're watching it and it's like stopping. And then it has like red lights and green lights. Yeah. Two drones that we're watching and all these shooting stars. It was incredible. Yeah. Last night. And Dave was looking up, is there something going on? Like, is there a meteor shower? Apparently there was some kind of meteor shower that was supposed to be at like 9 o'clock. This was at 7 o'clock, around between 6 and 7 our time. But 9 o'clock could have been, I don't know what time
Yeah, I
it is.
think it could have been East Coast. Yeah, yeah.
But I've never seen so many shooting stars and so long. Like you could watch them and they were bright for a long period of time. Two of them crossed, even though, they weren't anywhere near each other.
Right.
You know,
Excuse me.
it was amazing. And the drones we watched and they were hovering. And then I didn't get to see when they left or how they left because somehow I had to go back in the house. And when I came back out, they were gone. Interesting. A lot's going to go on up there too. I think we're going to learn a lot about what's happening in the sky.
Okay. I'm super ready for this. 2025. Oh. Yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm ready to just hit the restart button. Start all over again and be a better version than I was this year. That's kind of how I like to look at it. Just excel and do better. Just keep doing better. And I like to I have more and less of lists. Like I want more laughter, like because it's setting intentions, more of all the good stuff. And I've written it out, excuse me, and like more love, more laughter, more happiness, more, family time, more and I have a long list. Sometimes I'll just read it. And then it's like, less and more listening, less talking, less, all of the negative things. And I like to review those lists and just remind myself, I want more of these things and less of these things in my life. So I think that with those more and less, you end up getting really good results overall.
Oh, I love that. That's great, Suze. Yeah.
Yeah.
More and less. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
However you want to do it, however anybody wants to do it. But here's the thing, do it. Do something.
Yeah.
Do
Truth.
something.
Truth.
Even such a small little thing, it matters and it makes a difference. It's all about your intention. Where your intention goes, your energy flows.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're putting out good intention and without any expectation, which is difficult for most of us.
Right.
Because we have the expectation that we're going to receive what we want or we need what we want. If we don't get it, it's not okay. You can't look at it that way. It's really, I put it out there, I let go, and I trust that it's going to come as it's supposed to, whatever it is.
Yeah. Absolutely. And just not rushing. I think I was trying to mention this to you earlier about I heard this on a talk show early yesterday morning. They had mentioned it, and I heard them talking about it, but I wasn't focused in on it, so I Googled it, and it was called the, hurry sickness, and I'm like, "Is that real? Hurry sickness?" And I Googled it, and it says, "Hurry sickness, also known as a sense of excessive time urgency. It is a feeling of being constantly rushed and overwhelmed by tasks. It can lead to stress, anxiety, and physical problems if left unmanaged." And there's, like, signs that you have it, feeling like you're always being behind, racing to complete your tasks, getting flustered by delays, multitasking to the point of forgetting tasks, and counting the cars in front of you. Like, 'cause, you're in a hurry and you're like, "How many cars in front of me?" Like, you say you're in a drive-through. Like, people that are like, "There's 3 cars in front of me. There's 3 cars at this red light before I take a right." I'm like, "Oh my god, those things are real." And I think that that is probably so many people listening to this can say, "Oh my gosh, I have hurry sickness." And I can say that I don't have hurry sickness all the time, but I definitely have bouts of it. And I want to slow down, which is getting me to meditation. Because I need to do it. So I am going to do what I said I wasn't going to do, throw the 2 minutes out the window, but I am. I'm going to 5 because I really want to feel a difference. And I know 5 is so low, but I want to do it. So incorporating that 5 minutes of meditation, I think will help not ever having a bout of hurry sickness. And we're constantly being rushed. For what? Slow down. Go
Yes.
ahead. I can see you're good at it. Say it. What is it?
Well, yes. And the reason why this hurry sickness is now a term is because so many people are living in the amygdala. That's all you're living in, the fight, flight, or freeze reactive part of the brain, the limbic system.
Mhm.
Yes, there's overwhelm. Yes, there's hurry, 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 because you're in this fight. I gotta fight, I gotta flirt, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. And that causes a heightened awareness of stress, a heightened stress, a lower awareness of yourself, and no control, no self-control.
I think that's when accidents happen, like when you trip and fall. I mean, things happen. You don't have to have hurry sickness to have that. But I think that those things are heightened in that period of time when you're doing that, when you're rushing, you're not thinking, you're putting, the peanut butter, doing crazy things, putting the cereal box in the refrigerator and the peanut butter in the bathroom, and like, why did I do that? Things like that, tripping and falling, stumbling, even in your car and stuff. So I think that just staying present and slowing down and incorporating meditation into your daily life will help with that.
Yes, because that then takes you,
Someone told me.
it takes you the amygdala and into the prefrontal cortex, which is your higher brain, your executive brain. And then everything slows down naturally. It is a magical experience. When you do it regularly, your life will change,
Yeah, why would I not want that?
hands down.
Right.
Well, everybody does. It's a matter of why is it important to
Why,
you?
right. It is extremely important to me. So there you go.
And I know you want to drop the 2 minutes and go to 5 minutes. That's great. Susie, just sit. I don't care if it's 30 seconds. Just sit down. Take a deep, drop into your heart, because the heart is where we're going. We're getting out of this mind game,
Yeah.
this presence of the mind, and dropping into our heart, because that's where your reality lives. That's where your intuition, your soul, the deeper part of you, your higher self wants you in your heart.
Mhm.
And when we can drop into our heart, we come into a place of love, and we cannot be in fear when we're in a place of love. They're
Right.
completely different frequencies. So we have the choice of, where do we want to be? Do we want to be in love, or do we want to be in fear or
Mhm.
worry or hurry? Because
Mhm.
hurry is when you're in the ego side of things, that you feel and it's so overwhelming. I can't imagine living there.
Right.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not. It's exhausting.
Yeah. And this is so exciting. I love that we're doing this together because you know, dance and entertainment obviously have always been with me since I was very, very little. Like I just love everything about it. But so has this. And have been like, we were raised, Catholic for all of our childhood. And that's what it looked like then for me. I was so into it. And I wore a scapular and I carried, prayed the rosary. Like that's what it looked like to me then until I started to grow up and have my own thoughts of religion and spirituality and all of that. And then I just started to do it on my own and reading books but never, it was always quiet on my own, you know? And it's exciting to have the conversations and to start to really to talk about it and not just have it on my own and my own personal time, which was lovely, but this is more exciting. I feel like as I'm growing now more, I can help other people grow through the conversations with you teaching us. That's what I love most about this. And it's also a form of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Entertainment and education are two of the reasons why we're here on
Yeah.
this planet. Mhm.
Yeah.
To be entertained, to educate ourselves, to ultimately become self-realized, to realize who and what we truly are, which is not at all what we just only see.
Hmm.
We're not this physical body. And this is just a temporary house that our soul's using.
Yeah. Do you think that ultimately when you're at the end of the road, not you, anyone, any human, the end of the road on this earth, do you think that it's what it was really about was getting it? Was getting it? Like I got it. I figured it out. Like the wisdom, the constantly being open to growth. And you're never really it's never finished because if you pass away at 80, or pass away at 100, at 80 if you live to be 100, it shouldn't have stopped. It should never, like, well, I'm 80, I've learned everything. I think you're here to constantly learn till your last breath. And is that what it is, getting it? You constantly being aware that as long as you're here, you are here to keep learning and growing.
That's part of it. Yes, I do believe it's part of it. It is definitely. We're also here to be of service to humanity, to this planet. We are here to become fully aware of who and what we are, and we're here to be of service. Because when we serve others, we are ultimately serving the whole and ourselves, because we're all a part of the whole. So how you treat others is how you're treating yourself. How you treat yourself is how you're treating others. So if you're negatively talking to yourself and putting yourself down, which a lot of people do, they have the habit of, beating themselves up, as the term goes, right? Like, oh, I'm so stupid because I didn't do this, or I shouldn't have done that, and I'm dumb, and blah, blah, whatever the words.
You use the term once, don't be a bully to yourself. I believe you said that on one of our episodes. And I thought that was like perfect. Don't be a bully to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, right. So when you are kind to yourself and you love yourself fully, then that emanates out and ripples to everyone else. And you're automatically loving everyone else. We have to see that we are divine beings. We have to remember that we are one energy. And when we really do, how could wars exist? How could killings, murders exist? How could abuse exist? Because we would know better. We would know that if I'm hurting that person, I'm hurting me and I'm hurting everyone. And why would I do that when I love myself and we need love.
Yeah. And that unfortunately, the cycle has to be broken in order for people to ever get there because the people that are in the most pain are the ones that hurt others. So it's about, how do you help those that are in so much pain to stop the cycle of continuing the pain? You know, that's the hard part.
Yes. And we are in the age that we're in Dwapara Yuga, which is the age of energy. We've just tapped into this a few couple hundred years. We're only in it now 300 years or so. And we're rising in age, which is where our consciousness is expanding on the planet. The planet is getting more light because it's in our galaxy, our solar system is moving towards the center of the galaxy, which is where our consciousness is most expanded. So we aren't in a place, and we will never be in our lifetimes, in a place where there will be no war and we'll all shift. It's only in the highest ages that are that, and we're not there. So this is a duality. We're in a duality, which will always be in this material plane, where there is light and shadow. And where shadow exists, it's just that there's the light is obscuring, or the darkness is obscuring the light. There is that heavy energy. That's the nature of this game we're in, because it's really, truly a game. It's like a Matrix. I mean, if you haven't watched that movie, y'all need to go and see that movie. Watch that movie, The Matrix. And that's our job, is waking up from that, waking up to that reality and saying, oh, this is a fun experiment. This is an experiment, and I'm here to live that out as best I can, to be the best I can, to work on myself the most I can, and to help others in the most I can. Being service is the answer. Because when we're of service and we kind of almost forget about ourselves, there's a part in the is it the Bhagavad Gita, I think, that says, forget about yourself and you'll be happy. And that might be a different.
Yeah, if you're feeling, I've heard that too. If you're feeling bad about yourself, go do something kind for someone else, and it will change how you feel about yourself.
And why do you think that is?
Because we're all one.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we're all one.
So when you're helping someone else, you're ultimately helping yourself.
Yeah.
So, and it affects us profoundly.
Yeah. My favorite movie, excuse me, I have a sinus infection. I'm not contagious. I know I can't get you sick, but I'm just joking. My favorite movie in reference to being of service that changed me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if that could happen to everyone. Susan Sarandon, don't remember the name of it, but Susan Sarandon and Sean Penn, and Susan Sarandon plays a nun, and Sean Penn goes to prison for doing very bad things to a young lady with his friends. It was 3 of them, and it's the opening scene, and he gets on death row. And Susan Sarandon is appointed to visit him, to help mentor him through the process to get to death row, and to actually the day that he dies and passes away. And it is so profoundly life-changing, and seeing what she walks him through and how he truly finds himself through her love and through her not giving up on him, to the moment where she is with him as he takes his last breath. And he truly was a good person and sorry for what he did. And it's like, I know that that's not realistic for everyone, though. But man, I feel like if everyone could be given that chance to be with someone and to walk through the process of, you don't have to be this way, and why did you do it? I mean, she gets so deep with him, and they get so spiritual. It's amazing. It's such a good movie.
It's called Dead Man Walking.
Dead Man Walking. That's it. Thank you. Yes, it's excellent.
It's a beautiful movie, and it's also in a profound learning, a teaching, because every single soul has gone through a lot of dark nights and has done terrible things because they thought at the time it was going to bring them happiness. They thought at the time that was going to ease their suffering. And there was the story of that was, I mean, I don't think that this movie may be based on a true story. I don't know. But my favorite teacher, Asha, Nayaswami Asha, whom I adore, from Ananda, she shared this story a long while ago that she read in, what is that? The digest, the that little book that comes out.
Reader's Digest.
Yes,
I don't know
Reader's.
if they even do that anymore, but yeah.
Oh, I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
But this is a long time ago, and there was this story written that this woman's daughter was murdered, and obviously wrecked her world, and she was a mess, and had all this hate for the murder, and the murderer was put in prison for life. He was in life sentence, and she just couldn't get over this. And she realized one day that not only did he take my daughter's life, he took mine. And I'm not okay with that. So she decided to go to prison and visit him. And she really wanted to understand why he did this. Why did you do this why did you kill my daughter? And in the conversation, he said, I didn't even realize what I was doing. I didn't even know. I didn't think that she was a daughter or somebody important. I just wanted to get her purse. Like, I wanted what she had because I needed it to survive. And I didn't think about her as a human. And they started talking, and she would visit him regularly, and she forgave him. And he really learned, like, he woke up and learned, like, wow, that's not okay. And they became friends. And it was so healing for her and him. Because here's the thing, whatever we do, whenever we do it, we feel that it was a good idea at the time, which is, again, I'm quoting my favorite teacher, Anaya Swami Asha. She says, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
So instead of shaming yourself and blaming yourself and saying, I should have, could have, would have, and why didn't I, which all that does is bring you deeper down into the hole, say, wow, that wasn't a good idea, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. And can I forgive myself? Can I accept even deeper myself that I am not perfect and let go? Because nobody's judging you. No man in the sky, no other energy is ever judging you. That energy, your guides, your spirit guides, your angels are loving you through it all.
And I feel like people listening could be like, oh, people are always judging me. My family's judging me. My friends are judging me. Exactly.
That's not important. Let
No.
them judge away, because ultimately they're judging themselves. Ultimately, when people are judging, they are judging themselves. It's a reflection of what they don't want to see inside of their own consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just pause on that for a second. Listen to what I'm saying. When you're judging someone else, you are reflecting what you're judging about yourself, what you don't want to see and like about yourself. It's just a projection. Get out of that loop. And instead, consider accepting everyone for who they are and where they are in their journey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's huge. When you think that way, that's huge. I know that, going back to, you were talking about that man, and he said, I wasn't thinking that she was someone's daughter. That is truly something that I think about whenever I see anybody, a homeless man that's on drugs and doing something on the side of the street that's really inappropriate. Or I always think that is someone, and that kills me. It changes everything. That is someone's son. I have 2 sons. That's someone's son. He has a mother who once held him as a baby, and now he's on the street, suffering in every way, suffering from addiction, from mental illness, the weather, from hunger, and love. It breaks my heart.
And, instead of feeling, and I don't know what you feel, but if you felt like pity, that's not helping the situation. What the best thing we can do in those situations is to have that love and compassion, and to project that out, emanate love and compassion. Because it goes back to, we all have been there at some point on our journey. And I'm talking about past lives, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because karma and reincarnation are part of our reality, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, or believe it or not. And that's okay if you're not there. I get it. It's not an easy teaching, but that's our foundation. So we're just going to put it out there now that when we're talking about these things, we are assuming that you understand, or at least know that there's a thing called karma and reincarnation. And if you want to go deeper on that, we certainly can on a different platform, which, you could go to Wisdom Pathways and learn more about that stuff. But on this platform, we're talking about this is our foundation, right? We believe in karma and reincarnation. And that does not, so that takes the smallness out of just this life. When people say, well, I'm a good person, why do bad things happen? Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person. I've done good things. Yes, I guarantee you have. And you're looking at this small little 40 years or 50 years or 10 years or 20, however long you've been living on this life. We're talking about thousands of lives that you've lived, more, that have all accumulated to who and what you are in this very moment.
Right.
Karma comes back in its own timing, which is just energy neutralizing.
Which I didn't understand until it's probably this past year. You would explain to me, a little over a year ago, you explained to me, I'm like, I always thought karma was within the life that you're in, within this lifetime. Like your karma is going to meet you now. Like if I do something bad, I'm going to get that karma in this lifetime. And you're like, and I'm not meaning me, I'm just saying in general, people, you do something bad in this life, your karma is coming after you in this life. So, but you're saying that you taught me that it can, but it doesn't mean it might come back to you in your next life. Because I know there have been things that I have experienced personally, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? But I'm not mean to people. Like, I don't understand. What? And you're like, this could be karma from another life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that happened. I thought it was all about how you act now, and that's what you're receiving. But the karma from another correct me if I'm wrong, you've taught me, karma from another life is coming into this life to now teach you. So you better learn the lesson or it's coming again. And I've had to repeat some things and learn multiple times. And so, yeah, that's something that I also changed my thought frame in a positive way, was learning that karma, things happen to good people because it's all building up from other lives. And so you're not a victim. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing that happens that's a coincidence or an accident. Karma is going to come when it's time and when it's ready. That energy, it's just energy. Think about it. It's the same, Christianity calls it sin, but that means karma. Jesus Christ was not taking away everyone's karma, which is what he was talking about.
Right.
He was really, and this I know would be controversial, but the reality is he was taking away karma from his followers so that they could be the light after he left to express and share his teachings, so that they were fully in their light body.
Yeah.
And not having the obscuration of shadows, so that they could fully teach what Jesus was here for.
Wow.
So yes, karma's real, and the best kind of karma is that instant karma, right? But it's rare to get it. Like you do something, then it comes, something else comes, and you're like, oh yeah, that's because that just happened.
Right.
It doesn't happen all that often.
Right.
But that's what's good when it does, because then you're aware of it. But in this life, and when it's from past lives, it can feel like, wait, why is that happening to me? And then we want to be a victim and think life is unfair. No, you guys, let's wake up from that and know that every single thing is happening for you,
Right.
for our own growth and understanding and learning. And it's also really tricky when we want to say, oh yeah, learn that lesson. Karma's done there, because it's a spiral and you don't know when you might get another test. So just trust in yourself and your abilities to be present and take care of the minutes of your life and do the right next thing.
Oh, yes, yes. When you don't know what to do the next right thing. I believe they use that for people that are really struggling with depression. That's like a good form of habit to teach is, what's the next right? Well, the next right thing is to get out of bed because it's morning. Next right thing would be to brush your teeth. Don't overwhelm yourself with the thought of the day because you're feeling so bad. And I also like if you only have 40% to give today and you give 40%, you gave 100. Don't put yourself in this unrealistic 100% dial every single day and think that if you hit 40, you failed. Because today, maybe you had 40 and you gave it. Good for you. You hit your mark. I
That
love
sounds like something that Brene Brown says.
who?
Brene Brown.
Okay, I'm not sure. I know who she is, but I don't, I haven't heard too much of her teachings.
Yeah. And that to know that you are only at 40% requires some self awareness, you
Yeah.
know, some introspection to know where am I today? And a lot of people have no idea because they don't pay attention to themselves. They're so externally focused. If you're really just so focused on everyone else and everything else, how do you know what percent you are today? How can you possibly know? I can't tell you how many people I talk with and I say, tell me how you're feeling. And they tell me about a thought or an experience or something that they don't talk about actually or know how am I feeling? What emotion am I feeling? I'd have no idea. So many people will say, I don't know what I'm feeling.
I've heard you say that before, and people will say, "Well, I think blah, blah," and you'll no, but how do you feel?
Because they go into a thought. Exactly. Well, I think I'm done. I think I have to, make up. I don't even know what they say. It doesn't make any sense because it's not answering the question. How do you feel? So I ask you now, like whoever's listening, how do you feel? Can you answer that? And if you can't, it's okay. Don't judge yourself, but it's really, wow, I
Yeah.
don't know because I'm not paying attention to myself. And that's okay. That's the truth.
Excuse me, yes, which is also learning and eye-opening. You don't know because you're not paying attention, so how are you going to start paying attention? Where's your 1 foot, your first step? Is it day 1 or 1 day?
So, if you don't know, just pause and bring your hand to your heart and close your eyes and take a deep breath and let go and notice how your body feels. Do you feel tension in some place? Do you feel energy more in one area in the body? Are you relaxed? Are you stressed? Are you sad? Are you happy? Do you feel peace or anger or frustration? Or do you feel joy? And whatever speaks to you, let it. Don't think about it. Feel into the body. Drop into the body. Take another breath and exhale, and then go into the heart with gratitude. Gratitude for this year that is now behind us, this year where so much happened in the world and in your personal life, and find gratitude for all of it, that it was all perfectly orchestrated only and just for your growth. And whether you grew from it or didn't, accept where you are in this moment. And so allow yourself to bring in different things that happened in 2024 in your mind, different experiences, different adventures, different challenges. Allow them to just kind of float in and acknowledge them as they come. And even in those challenges, the most challenging, difficult times this year, I invite you to send gratitude. And if you haven't learned yet what the purposes were or purpose was of the experience, know that there is one and that you will get other opportunities to grow and learn exactly what you need. Feel that gratitude emanating throughout every cell of your body. Allow it to, as you breathe in consciously, fill your heart center with this gratitude. And as you exhale, let it sink into every cell of the body, of your being. And then in your mind's eye, formulate a bonfire. Feel that heat from the fire. See the flames and imagine yourself dancing around the fire in so much love and gratitude for 2024 and all that it brings with it. And imagine that you're throwing all of that experience into the fire and you're letting it go. And you're seeing the fire, the flames, the light, the smoke bellowing up even bigger as you throw everything into the fire from 2020 with such joy and release. And then breathing in again. And as we exhale, it is done. And so it is.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
For
I
sure.
know everybody listening loved that. So now that was a beautiful way to close this out. I just want to thank everyone who has started the following of us on the Sister Sessions journey. And we are really grateful for you. And we hope that you share this with your loved ones, family, and friends. And we have a lot of exciting, we're going to have special guests this year. And we hope that we can grow together with you. And I personally want to wish everyone a fabulous, peaceful, beautiful, calm, prosperous new year. And I love you all. And I'm going to leave Jenny with a message.
Hmm.
You can leave the last message.
That, Susie, and I concur. Wish everybody a beautiful new year. And most importantly, love yourself. Because when you love yourself, you're loving the universe. Namaste. All is well.